welcome to Wrestling with Purpose. My name's Mitch. What's up, Danny? How we doing, brother?
Yo, another day in paradise. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and I'm actually from Paradise, which is crazy.
Hey, what crazy segue. Crazy.
I know. Hey, we had Austin Aries on the last two episodes, man. We learned a lot of stuff about Austin Aries, about veganism,
Yeah.
fruitivore, fish have feelings. I mean, it was a crazy couple episodes. Thank you to everybody that watched those episodes.
hmm
And I just kind of wanted to reflect on some of that, man. Are you still doing the carnivore diet?
Yeah. I not as much because the holiday season, you want a little pumpkin pie, you want a little bit of, cranberries, you want a little bit of this and that. So not as I think I had macaroni salad for the first time in like a year last week. So not super strict, but I feel like discipline is very important, but so is uh letting yourself have a little too. You know what I mean? Because if you I'm a firm believer in when dieting comes in, it's part of it is you don't go cold turkey, because when you do like relapse, you're just gonna go, it's gonna explode. So if you're like, man, I really want a piece of pizza, like you should kind of just be like, not really. But if you're gonna crave, just have a piece of pizza instead of eating a whole pizza, so
Yeah, it's tough. You said mac salad, bro. I have an unhealthy obsession with macaroni and cheese, dude. I went nuts on some mac and cheese, let me
yeah,
tell you.
absolutely.
And as far as the pizza goes, dude, I got a pizza counselor, right? I go to
hmm
PA and I'm in
Yeah,
that 12 slice step program.
yeah,
It's not good,
exactly. Well,
but we're working on it. But yeah,
I was gonna say another thing with that too is like, so a lot of people think carnivore is just like you just eat steak type things, but like I have pizza. I just make the crust a carnivore pizza. I make my own sauce and then I put stuff on top of it. So like it's you have to look beyond surface level on certain things and get your own information, and it's actually very, very
what's a
enjoyable.
carnivore crust?
So a lot of people use they'll shred chicken, and then crack an
Yeah.
egg, and then like some Parmesan cheese and stuff like that. But I use the stuff, it's called pork panko, which is ground up pork rinds. So I use that, and then some
Yeah.
cream cheese and egg, Parmesan cheese, and then you roll it out flat into a pizza like a crust, and then you bake it.
Okay.
You pull it out. You make I make my own cheese sauce, and then I'll put on whatever toppings I want on top of it. Sometimes I'll put steak, sometimes I'll put chicken, pepperoni, sausage, you know. So
I feel it,
pretty
man.
delicious.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you. So I ended up. I went 2 weeks with no meat, and I was eating dairy though, and I
Mm,
was realizing like, dude, that dairy is just, I'm feeling bloated from the dairy. So then I cut the dairy out too. So I ended up making it to the month minus one little slip up one night. I had a couple of slices of pepperoni pizza, but
mm,
uh I mean, it was two slices, but maybe four. It might have been five. But anyways, for the most part, 99.9% of that 30 days, I went no meat, and like 2 weeks there, I went no dairy. And I felt a difference in the digestion, you know what I mean? And I did feel like, especially drinking like fruit smoothies every morning, like I had more energy, and didn't have to really drink energy drinks. But I don't know, man. I feel like I probably packed on a few pounds of fat. But that's on me though, like for also not, I don't know. It's a tough thing. I feel like what it did for me was make me realize that like, okay, like I can calm down on all this red meat. I also want to make sure that if I'm gonna buy meat, that it's gonna be, really good, grass fed, lean, all that stuff. And just all the products that I buy, man, I'm just a little more mindful with what I'm buying at the store. Um and I could do it again. Like I feel like I could do it if I wanted to. It was tough at night getting full, you know? Like
Mhm.
That was probably the hardest part. But
And that
yeah, we're
see,
always learning with the nutrition, man. It's a battle all the time, you know?
yeah,
It really
see,
is.
actually have the opposite effect on the carnivore diet. I once a day, like I'll have steak and eggs for breakfast, and
Wow.
I might not get hungry the rest of the day. I might, it might be the next day and I'm like, I'm hungry again. And then I'll have like burgers and then I'll have, maybe some chicken. And then, that's it for the next day. Like it's kind of the other way around for me, and it's just quite surprising. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be a frutivore. I couldn't be any of that because I don't, it's just, to me, it takes some discipline, but at the same time, it's got to be something that you're semi enjoying, or you're gonna break as soon as you're like, I'm not having a good time. As soon as you get the opportunity to, you're gonna find a reason to not do it.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting conversation, man, and we appreciate Austin Aries coming on the
Absolutely.
show. And like I said, I appreciated his input, and I
Yeah.
got where he was coming from, and he was inspirational, and I know he's a lot of people are finding success doing what he's doing.
Hmm.
For me, man, it's just food's always been a battle for me, probably my whole life, dude. Like I'm always trying to
Yeah.
figure out, like, okay, like you know, the weight's always gone up and down, and
Hmm.
so it's just it's an ongoing process. And I'm not against the carnivore, like looking into that, because have you found yourself losing fat, gaining muscle?
Yeah.
What's been your
I
experience?
both, because you're
What's your
doing
workouts like too?
uh okay, so well, first with the losing weight. So uh when I started doing the carnivore, I was 310. I was like 309. 309, 310. 310, not 3010. But and then when I was strict carnivore, the only thing I do extra is coffee. I have coffee, a little bit of creamer in it, and that was my strict carnivore diet. When I was like at about 4.5 months, I was down to 255. Um, and I was just eating right, drinking lots of water, and then just do I and at that point in time, I was dealing with a lot of life stuff. It's some very near and dear people close to me passed away, and I was very depressed. So like gym stopped. I stopped going to the gym. I had days where it was like I was just kind of napping all day, and I still kept the weight off. And then now that I've gone back to the gym, I'm like 264-ish, but I'm also not strict carnivore anymore. I'm doing like I said, I had, macaroni. I'm doing protein, I'm taking creatine, I'm doing extra, I'm eating extra things. So and I'm in the gym. I've got a strict like regiment in the gym. And this was the funnest one for me, so I'm back at it, but I'm doing the Captain America workout. It's the one where Chris
Mhm.
Evans, it was his workout for the Captain America movie. So like for him to get into shape for
Right.
the movie. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I uh I do like I those people who kind of know, like I do streaming and stuff like that in the community I have. We vote on workout routines. So like every cycle we'll go through, and my first ever one that everybody voted on was Captain America. And that's the one I had the best time with, me personally. So um, I just hit 40, and I was like, I want to get back into making working out fun again. And I was like,
Yeah.
look, I was like, I had a good time doing Captain America. So that's what we're doing again. So
You just turned 40.
I turned 40 the 26th of last month. So right before day before Thanksgiving. So
Old ass man.
dead every day, dead.
It's a blessing though, man. That's
Yeah.
a blessing. Now I'm gonna be 38 here coming up. We're getting up there, man. But it's a blessing to live this long, and I'm living till 2105. And yeah, working out is something I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to do it on my last day alive. Like I want to always do it. And yeah, I just took a week off the gym, which was tough, but it was like I think my body for sure needed it. Like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you got to do that, man. You got to reset. Um,
Absolutely.
and then yeah, I feel like for me, because everybody's so different. Like I feel like for me, I think eliminating some dairy is going to be one of the best things I could probably do. Obviously, lower the carb intake and just I'm hitting weights like 3 times a week. And then I'm hitting cardio after, and then I'm doing light cardio once or twice a week on top of that. So, we're always learning stuff, man. My,
Mm-hmm.
my weight's gone up and down. But it's not about weight, it's about body fat percentage, and just like feeling good. Like,
Yeah.
how do your clothes fit? How do you feel? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how are you moving around? And I don't know what the Captain America workout is. Is that like a bodybuilder typical workout? Is it like a CrossFit deal? What's the deal on
No,
that deal out there?
I mean uh it's a push pull upper lower split through the week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is how it splits. I could pull up the workout and go over specifics. It'd take me a minute to pull it out, but um and then on what like so I go Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is active recovery. So like I don't work out or anything, but like I'll go for a walk or I'll just
Yeah.
do light stuff to just keep your body moving and stuff like that. But it's to give your muscles a rest. So and then Thursday, Friday is yet again up or lower. So it's not and it's all the basic stuff, uh like Monday, like is like upper chest push, so like bench press, dumbbell stuff. And then Tuesday is push lower, and then
Mm.
so then Thursday, Friday is pull upper and pull lower. So like deadlift
Okay. When
and
you say lower, you're talking legs, right?
yeah, lower body. Yeah, so upper body and
Okay.
then
Okay.
yeah, lower body.
Okay, okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
say
yeah.
the folks at home following us here. All right, well, that's what's up, man. And I want to talk more about like just continuing to talk about nutrition and exercise on this podcast, man. I want that to be like a big part. I think it'd be cool to check in and if we're doing new stuff and what's working and what's not working, and
Yeah,
anybody listening out there on the YouTube, drop a comment about what you're doing, and if it's working and how it's working for you, man. Because I'm always, you know, not trying new things as far as that. I know what works, man. For me, it's like small meals, like lower them carbs, get active. Um, don't be a hog. That's
yeah,
good advice right there. Like, yeah, have a cheat meal, man. Eat a pizza here and there, but consistency is always going to be key. So,
100%.
and
Absolutely.
one of the most consistent wrestlers of all time, man. This guy put in 20 plus years in the wrestling business, on top in the WWE. We're talking about John Cena. That's what this episode is going to be about. I mean, there's just so much to get into. As we record this, we don't even know who his last opponent's gonna be. We want to make sure to give us time to edit this podcast and get it up. We're busy guys, but we don't. We're not necessarily going to talk about his last match. We're going to talk about his career. Some of the best moments, the best matches. I mean, it's going to be all things John Cena here, man. So I mean, I could go into so many things, but I want to start with you, Danny. Like, what are some of your first memories of John Cena, the first memories that stand out to you in his career?
I saw John Cena's first match, the ruthless aggression. I saw that live as it happened, and I didn't
Yeah.
think anything at the time. So I'm not a big celebrity follower. The only person I follow celebrity wise besides the Mitch Valentine is is Kurt Angle. He's the only person
Wow.
because he won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, you know? And I
Two
wrestled
of
in
the
high
best,
school.
by the way.
Yeah,
That's all you
absolutely.
need.
Yeah, I wrestled in high school, so when I saw Kurt Angle, I was like, dude, this guy is great, you know, like beyond the Olympics, you know, and I saw him, and so I was like super invested. And then, John Cena came out with his little boy shorts on and his haircut, you know, looking very, if he had a puka shell necklace, he would have been very 2000s, like very early 2000s. And
That haircut, though, that
that
haircut,
haircut,
man.
dude. I went to high school with people who had that haircut, you know? Um and when I saw that, I was like, I didn't think of it. I was like, wow, dude, he just slapped Kurt Angle. That's crazy. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like John Cena just kind of like, started making moves after that, you know? And that was the first memory I have of John Cena. But my favorite memories of John Cena are Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. That's my favorite version of John Cena.
No, that's what made it, man. Like everyone knows the story. Like Stephanie McMahon, like heard him freestyle rapping, and like
Mm-hmm.
he was that first character he started with was rough, man. He had some
Yeah.
he had some good matches or whatever. I mean, yeah, he
Yeah.
was in there with Kurt Angle and you know, but it was like for me, I was a big WWE magazine subscriber back in the
Mm-hmm.
day. So like I was getting the magazines and I remember reading about the prototype
Yeah.
and also Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton and Batista, they all debuted on TV before him.
Yeah.
But in the magazines, like it would talk about OVW and it would talk about these guys. So I already kind of I like knew um who they were just through the magazines,
Yeah.
which is so passe, bro. Like it's like people now they're like,
Yeah.
What's a magazine?"
Yeah.
Like, but that's how it was. And yeah, I'm with you 100%. I watched it live as well with Kurt Angle, and but I'm with you 100%, dude. That 2003 run of
Mm-hmm.
just those freestyles before every match. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, like that's the stuff that I love to go back and watch.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, some of the lines, like one of my favorites, man. He said he was wrestling Kurt Angle, and they did a little segment with this midget. And as we learned a few weeks ago or a few episodes ago, we can say midget, it's fine. Midgets don't mind at all.
Yeah.
Um, he did this thing with the midget. And then he wrestles Kurt Angle a few weeks later and he said something like, Kurt Angle was having a good time with that little midget that he couldn't take his hands off. And if you want to see a real joke, have Kurt Angle take his pants off.
Yeah.
just like just so many lines like that, man. I mean, he had a
Mm-hmm.
line about Kobe Bryant one time. I mean, he had so many lines to the point where like the FCC literally cracked down on what he was doing and edited him, and they had to change the character because
Yeah.
it was just too much,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so started the chain gang deal, right? And that's when I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like like when the chain gang thing started, I'm like, nah, this ain't what it was. And he started becoming a more family friendly cartoon kind of character.
Yeah.
But there's no topping that Thugonomics run, man.
Oh,
What
absolutely not.
I mean,
And it kind
ah,
of goes to show that like John Cena has always said he's about the business. Whatever they want him to do, he'll do it. And it kind of goes to show that like he basically picked up the ball and ran with it. And then when they were like, all right, you've got to do something different, he did. And then when they changed him again, then he did. Even with this last time when he was a bad guy,
yeah,
he was like, okay, cool. And then when basically it didn't work out because for whatever reason it didn't work out for they they basically were like, okay, just be John Cena again, and he did it. He could have been like, I'm retiring, I'm not going to be a bad guy, I'm not going to go out there and do that. But no, he was like, if that's what you want me to do, I will do it, let's do it. And like
yeah.
always the whatever the business wanted from him, that's what he that's what he's always given.
I mean, it's crazy that like Roman Reigns has main evented like 10 or something WrestleManias. And yeah, like it's been two nights the last 5 years. So, is it really the same as main event? But Cena had main evented quite a few there for a minute. Like he was having
Yeah.
great main events with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. That WrestleMania was Shawn Michaels. And
Hmm.
they had another match in England that went like an hour. That was great stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is Shawn Michaels, but it's like when I think of some of Cena's best matches, I think of Kurt Angle, I do, um, but I think of Shawn Michaels, and I think of CM Punk. I mean, the stuff with CM Punk, man, like that was some of the like WWE was kind of on a like that 2000 whatever it was 9 10 or whatever it was 8 9 10 even 7 like it started to like really fall off to the point where like I stopped paying attention.
Hmm.
I'd maybe read some stuff, but it was really hard to watch. And then CM Punk came along, and that Money in the Bank match, right? And that little Summer of Punk, and Cena was right in the middle of that. That's when it like turned around for a minute. I was like, okay, I got to watch this every week,
Hmm.
you know. And of course, I think some of his best stuff was with The Rock. Like, I mean, you're talking three WrestleManias back to back to back. Some of the best promos I've ever seen. You know,
Yeah.
like The Rock's one of the best promo guys of all time. But like Cena hung with him and even got on him like to the point where he's like, "Yeah, you got the promo on your wrist, and you're a tooth fairy, and the crowd's chanting tooth fairy, and
Yeah.
Cena's getting booed." The other thing too, like you know, the Thugonomics thing was so over that he was a heel, but the crowd started cheering for him, and then he went full baby and doing the chain gang stuff and the more little kid stuff, and just went in every week. The fans got sick of him and started booing him. But then it was like the kids and the women would cheer for him, the guys would boo him, and then of course when The Rock came back, I mean that just moved. I mean that was just what a time,
Hmm. Yeah.
because The Rock was gone for 7 years. He comes back for Cena,
I
and then it was like, this is cool again.
yeah, I that's for me. So The Rock left WWE, not to, not give John Cena his thing, but that's for me. The Rock left and Dwayne Johnson came back because The Rock has never been the same after he left. He's come back and he's been a less version of himself. So like the reading the promos, Rock used to be the best at doing that. And then when he came back, he just, that's why I think Cena's always been great at cutting promos and getting in there, but like it's never been, you always feel like Cena's always the one who someone cuts a promo and he's just like right there doing rebuttals and being like and keeping up. But in that one, I feel like Cena just kind of like eclipsed, good old Dwayne when he came back,
He definitely proved he was on his level, and I believe, there was like real heat there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those, there was that was an issue. Um, but yeah, I mean, when The Rock, and this is about Cena, but
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let you talk
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
about The Rock. I ain't gonna I'm coming at you now.
Yeah.
Uh, The Rock had that heel run in '03, right? And then he
Hmm.
left, and then he would come back here and there, and then he was gone. And it
Hmm.
was like, yeah, I mean, he left because he was pursuing a different career, and he didn't want to use the WWE to promote his movies. He wanted to make it in the movies on his own. But when he came back, it was like, I don't know, bro. Like I felt reinvigorated, and I wasn't alone. Like he reinvigorated the WWE in 2011 when he came back. And yeah, he only did a few things, and then he wrestled Cena and he wrestled Punk, and like but it was a short run. But I mean, it was a good run, and it was a great rivalry, and it really never got settled because they both won a match. Like they're 1-1. Like
Yeah.
I was really hoping, and who knows? I mean, by the time this drops, everybody will know. But most likely it's going to be Gunther, right? Like as Cena's last opponent. But man, a part of me is like, it'd be so cool if they, especially with the heel turn that happened.
Oh,
at the Chamber earlier this year. The Rock's got to be involved with Cena's last match, and if not, Cena's probably going to go in the Hall of Fame. Who inducts him? Is it Randy or is it Rock? Or is it somebody else?
I honestly, if they could swing it one way, shape, or form, honestly, I think I would like to see Edge be his last match. I would love to see, however it is, like if they could like shake hands for a match, you know what I mean? If WWE and AEW could just, you know what I'm saying? Like AEW is very like fan servicing, and if somehow WWE could just be like, look, this is what it is. It's John Cena. If they could do that, I would love the last match to be against Edge. It's not going to happen because we live in reality, but like
Yeah.
that's to me, that would be the last match. Or I mean, I'd like to see him in, if that's, I feel like that is to me the best John Cena rivalry, in my opinion, is Edge and Cena. Like they just,
Yeah.
there's so many moments and there's so many like their careers took it to another level because of each other.
Yeah. No, Edge won his first title, cashing in on Cena, man. They had a heck of a run.
Yeah.
TLC match. I mean, they had every kind of match I think you could have. Um, but Randy Orton, though, man, was another guy that Cena really, I
Hmm.
mean, they wrestled so many times.
Yeah.
Um,
I
you
saw
know what I
them
mean?
wrestle
I
live.
mean, Hell in a Cell, Iron Man,
Hmm.
they did it all. So I mean, it's tough. He had a lot of great rivalries. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there was a lot of great guys he got in there with. So I mean, for me, like I said, Rock, Punk, you go Orton, you go Edge.
Hmm.
Shawn Michaels had some great matches with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing run, man. I
Hmm.
mean, him and Big Show had a lot of they had some stuff.
The
I
some of
mean,
the
he got a good
great
match out of Khali. He got a pretty good match out of Khali, which is insane.
he's the only one who got a good match out of Kali.
Yeah,
Nobody could really work with him. Like, and those John Cena is the best, in my opinion, is the best big man in the business. Like it minus Andre, because like nobody could be a better big man than him. But like, who else can do the things that he did to like Kali, Big Show, Mark Henry? Like these guys, like he's so agile. He can hit you, he can drop kick Big Show right in his face and then scoop slam him like he's nothing, AA him, pick him up and carry him. You know what I mean? Like it's incredible to me that like John Cena is, in my opinion, like one of the best, or like best big men in the business. Like
not
ever.
necessarily big man. I mean, he's not because he's like 6'1", but strong man though. I mean, he's definitely
Yeah.
got that super strength. Him and Lesnar for sure. I mean, Big Show said like two of the strongest guys I've ever been in the ring with was Lesnar and Cena. So,
Yeah.
and there's another guy, bro. Him and Lesnar, like
Uh, yeah.
again, OVW days. Cena's first title match was
Hmm.
was with Lesnar.
Well, they had their
When
match
Lesnar came back.
on his
What's that?
they had their match on his retirement tour. They already
Yeah,
did
yeah.
their
No,
thing. And
no, I know, but I'm saying in the past though,
oh,
like
okay.
Cena's first,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like Cena's
Okay.
first title match back
Yeah.
in '03 was with Brock, and when Brock came back, they had that little run, and of course Brock squashed him, and then yeah, Brock squashed him in his retirement match. It's just like
Yeah.
you just never seen a run like Cena. You look at Hogan, you look at Austin. Austin had a very short run. Um, Bruno only had like a 10-year, maybe 15-year run
Hmm.
max. These guys that were on top in the WWE, it's like there's nobody that comes close to Cena, not even half. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like the last 10 years, like Cena's been, pretty part-time. You could say that, but still, like, still able to come in like he has this year and be a main event guy all year
Yeah.
long, and draw numbers, sell merchandise like nobody else. I mean,
Well, and when
it's wild.
oh, yeah, yeah. when he but every time he comes back, it's not he doesn't skip a beat. He's not there's no ring rust, there's nothing. He gets in there and it's like he never left. You know what I mean? Like he's still at the top of his game whenever he comes back, where a lot of people they need like a couple warm up matches to get back into it. But Cena just dives head first every match. When he comes back and he's still in deep water and still swims, you know?
Is that maybe he dives head first? Is that why he started getting that flesh covered yarmulke back there?
Dude, uh
Bro, his hair is a mess.
yeah, yeah.
His
His
hair is a mess. I mean, I don't know why he didn't just do the Kurt Angle, Dwayne Johnson, Mitch Valentine deal. Because I mean, my goodness, it looks like a what was that thing? The chia. It looks like the chia pet, like literally like
yeah.
fake, the fakest hair I've ever seen. And
Yeah.
he's getting on Twitter and saying like, "Hey, got to give love to my my hair transplant doctor here." Yeah, I mean, at least he's not shying away from it. But
Yeah.
man, yeah, the hair is not the deal. But yeah, I mean, like just trying to think of like other like the Nexus stuff.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
good
Mhm.
stuff. Like I mean, the Nexus, that was I guess an all right angle. I mean, again, that was in a downtime. But I want to go back to the CM Punk stuff because to me, you say Edge, I say CM Punk as far as his best rivalry. Um, I throw the Rock's name in there too. It's a darn shame we couldn't have got Stone Cold Steve Austin versus John Cena because that would have been
Mhm.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, but
It's
we
just
did but we got a lot of guys that debuted against Cena, guys like Owens, right,
mhm.
and Zayn. I think they both debuted wrestling wrestling Cena.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got Samoa Joe versus John Cena. Those guys I like they trained together before OVW at
Yeah.
UPW. And that's a shame we never got that. But we did get AJ Styles and John Cena. And
Mm.
I'll tell you right now, dude, that match from a couple months ago is the best match that I've seen in like 10 or 15 years. 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely. The that is definitely one of my favorite matches in the last few years in WWE of, absolutely. And I think, well, like we talked about it, like of our best, like our favorite current wrestler, and one of my the top two is AJ Styles. Um
Yeah.
and that is exactly why. Like when you say no one has a run close to Cena, I would say, in my opinion, the only person I could closely think of is AJ Styles, who's been at the top of wherever he is consistently, and been going for so long and can still have great matches. In my opinion, AJ's retiring next year, and
Yeah.
he hasn't had the run as no one has ever had the run as John Cena has. But if I can think of anybody who's been consistent for as long as John Cena and has been at the caliber as John Cena level, is AJ Styles.
Yeah, and I agree, man. I look forward to doing an episode about AJ, like just strictly about AJ down the
Oh,
line
yeah,
because
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, a whole nother level, really at a higher level, like as far as a physicality standpoint than Cena. But one thing that Cena you can't deny, man, is the days worked.
Yeah.
That he's, I mean, not only wrestling, 200 plus days a year for 10, 15 years, but then all the extra stuff, man, all the movies, all the TV appearances, the media interviews, the Make a
The
Wish
Make a
stuff too,
Wish.
which nobody will ever touch that record.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Um,
It's,
so I mean, yeah, man, it's a heck of a it's a heck of a run. I think some of my favorite like moments, you know, him and Daniel Bryan was another just
mhm.
great moment of him really putting Daniel Bryan over.
Yeah.
Like they had like I remember the promo, leading up to it, and then I remember the match, and then I remember the elbow, like Cena's elbow was
Oh,
like just
yeah.
completely and and him putting Bryan over like that at the main event of SummerSlam. he was, everyone will say, oh, Cena was always, burying the young guys, but it's like you look at all the guys he put over. I mean, he put over Austin Theory a couple years ago. He's put over Roman multiple times. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Punk, Bryan, um, you know, God, I do some thinking, but it's like Owens. How about that was the craziest thing I'd seen in 2015 when you bring in Kevin Owens, 5'9", pot belly. Is this guy gonna even make it in WWE? And he comes in and he beats John Cena in his first pay per view. It's like, geez, man,
Yeah.
and that was a heck of a match too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, it's such a great career, man, and it is crazy like watching this last run. Has the retirement tour been perfect? No. Like, is there things that could have been done better? Yeah. But like, is it still like something that we watch and it's like, this is kind of cool, man. You never really seen anything like this in wrestling where it's like
Mm-hmm.
a whole year of like, okay, this is my last time here. This is, and then the tournament I mean, it's been a cool thing. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, we
absolutely.
wish we could have got some Edge. We wish we could have got Edge. Maybe The Rock, whatever, Jericho, maybe. That would have
Mm-hmm.
all been cool.
Yeah.
I would hope. What I'm really hoping is that Kurt Angle's involved in his last match as a special enforcer or something.
Even
Like
calling
Kurt,
commentary, just there,
something,
just being there. Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And again, when this drops, dude, like everyone's gonna already know, like it's already been done. Like
Yeah.
Cena's done. Right? The way that this drops on the 15th of December is the drop date for this. But we're here in the first week of December, talking right now. So it's
Yeah.
like we don't know what happened, but we're talking about just what an incredible career, man. Like what an
Yeah.
incredible run. Um, and it's like again, like you've talked matches and stuff, but is there some promos, promos in particular that come to your mind?
The it's a promo esque type thing. But when we were talking about matches, my the most unforgettable match I've ever seen with Cena is Cena RVD
I
in
was
the
just thinking
ballroom.
yeah,
That to me is the most unforgettable John Cena match moments that there's other great ones. Don't get me wrong, but like the whole thing, just coming out there, head down, title, walking out. If Cena wins, we riot. They're yelling profanities, like nobody threw anything. Nobody like it never crossed that line, but oh boy, did it look like it was gonna. Cena went out, he threw his shirt, they threw it back, he threw it, they threw it back, like
yeah,
back and forth. He went in the crowd and like I remember watching it and was like, is somebody gonna do something? Like there's a lot of angry people around him, and thankfully nothing did happen. They were able to have an incredible match in such a hostile atmosphere. But that to me is the best all encompassing, John Cena moment for me.
yeah. No, I wish obviously ECW One Night Stand '06
Yeah.
Heyman. I wish we could have got more Cena Heyman on the mic
Yeah.
together. I thought that would have been that would have been cool. I know we got it a little bit with Brock, but maybe a little bit there leading up to that. But one guy we haven't talked about, Undertaker.
Mm,
Like Undertaker was one of the first guys to get into a program with Cena, like
yeah.
main event guy to get in a program with Cena when he was doing the Thugonomics stuff in '03. Put him over. Um, and then again coming back years later, having another run together here and there. They'd wrestle occasionally, but of course that WrestleMania match just a couple minutes, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, Undertaker one of the most respected guys in the business.
Yeah.
You got to put Cena right up there with him, especially in WWE in particular.
Yeah.
Taker had a 30-year run, which I mean, that's something that no one's ever going to do again. Like,
Not
there's no way.
yeah, not at his caliber. Like as soon as he switched to the Thugonomics, he was at the top of the game and never came back down. He was always at the top. He was always talking. He was always main event material and main event matches, and was always uh like it was always, even if he didn't wrestle in the main event, it always felt like his matches were main event matches. Like, no, Undertaker always main events WrestleMania when Taker's on there. But like Cena would still have a match right before, and it was like, what's the main event? You know what I mean? Like this was Cena, or is it Taker? Even though they went on last, you know what I mean? Like what's the main event? And with Cena, it always felt like when they did one nights still, it was always felt like, well, what was the main event? Is it felt like a co-main event type thing.
Yeah, and just because I was blanking a little bit earlier, but more guys like Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, like these are guys that Cena just put over. He made these guys.
Yeah.
Like he made a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting them over early on. Carlito,
Yeah.
um, it's just I'll tell you what. The WrestleMania match with Cody this year, not great. But the SummerSlam match was damn good. And it was like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the most, to me, like, besides the AJ Styles match this year, the 35 minutes with Cody at SummerSlam in the main event was like, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that was really impressive, man. Because Cena's 47 years old, bro. He's beat up.
Yeah.
That's why he's done. He knows. He knows he's done.
Yeah.
So, and I respect that, man, because I truly believe, like, every time I talk to this with like normal people that aren't like hardcore wrestling fans or whatever,
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, he's not down here. He'll wrestle again. It's like I truly believe that this guy's done, man. Like I think
Yeah.
he's one of those very few guys that when he says he's done, he's actually done. Um, Especially with the way he's gone about it. I
Right.
was there for the first night of this retirement tour at the Intuit Dome, the Netflix debut. And I'll say, like, I came out of that thinking, you know what? I could see him being done. And yeah, he's got a decent little movie career and he's decent little actor and all that. He's got a lot of connections in Hollywood, but I could see Cena being an incredible motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Like
I could
that,
see.
that that's what I'm thinking is going to be happening. Like that guy he knows how to command an audience
Yeah.
and he knows how to talk and he's very inspirational.
Yeah. I could see. I could see John Cena being great at whatever he does, and I could see him doing a lot of things. I could see Cena getting into politics. I could see him like, I don't know if he's into politics or whatever, but if he was like, "Oh, I'm running for whatever," I'm like, I could see, yep, that I could see that how you could use your, like he has that type of charisma. He has that it factor to him where regardless of what he's talking about, people are like, "Oh yeah, yeah." They just kind of like, I believe it. I buy it. I'm buying what you're selling.
Well, he's got that Hogan Americana like vibe. Like I
Yeah.
remember when I think he wrestled Brock Lesnar or somebody, whoever he wrestled, but like after the show, it was the same night they captured or killed Osama bin Laden. And they had Cena get on the mic
Yeah.
and inform the live crowd that had happened, man, because
Yeah.
that's the kind of position that he was in.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, yeah, man, just thinking back, man, him and Bray Wyatt,
I,
that was a fun little
yeah.
deal there.
That's what I was gonna say too. I was gonna bring that up because we were talking about like one of the best WrestleMania performers ever, Taker. Like when he had that his last match with AJ Styles. To me, that was a great moment. But then when you've got when you got Cena and Bray doing their funhouse thing, I was like, I don't know what my favorite one is. You know what I mean? Like Cena and NWO stuff and like the what could have happened type gimmick, you know, like, and I was going back and forth, and that is probably that's not my favorite WrestleMania like moment of his, but it was really good, especially during, you know, they did the best that they could and they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Even 5, 6 years before that, though, when they wrestled at WrestleMania 30, and the
Mm,
build up leading up to that,
mm,
you know,
hmm,
with the Wyatt family
yeah,
and just leading up to that one was great. Um, man, it's just so much, and we can't talk about Cena's career. We got to talk about some what I thought was some of the most entertaining stuff. Was him on Total Bellas. All right, we all,
mm,
you know, him and Nikki were a thing for a while. Dude, my fiance, you know, she's not the biggest wrestling fan in the world, but she did enjoy watching Total Divas and Total Bellas. Yes, I watched every episode uh, of both shows, all the seasons. We watched that in the last, you know, year or two or whatever.
hmm,
Really enjoy. I actually really enjoyed it because it was cool to watch some type of wrestling and, you know, with her. But
yeah,
dude, the way Cena was on the show, like, you know, we have we have rules here at the house, and every evening at 5 p.m. we will all sit at the table,
mm,
you know, in formal attire, and you know, we will close all the doors, we will make our beds every morning, like, just, and it's
yeah,
all just, it's so ridiculous, you know. And that's and that's why I knew the heel run was going to be great. He had to take that character, and he did, man. Those first few, hey, the first, he did the best he could with this heel run. The
yeah.
crowd didn't want to boo him, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
They didn't want to. But he got him there those first couple promos. It was pretty good, but it was just, there just wasn't like, besides Cody, there just wasn't anybody that was gonna make it great, you know.
Yeah,
And I don't know what happened with The Rock and that whole deal.
I don't.
Because and the main issue, the main was what, I don't even remember the dude's name. What's that rapper's name that was involved with that whole angle?
You're
Like,
barking up the wrong tree. I know who you're talking about, but
uh
whatever his name is, yeah.
yeah, like, like,
He
what is
was
that guy doing?
he was Dwayne's
Standing
friend,
there.
and
He's
that's why he got
standing
into it.
there. I don't know if that's the reason. I think that was a
He
Triple
was
H call,
he
man.
was only around when The Rock was around. Like I don't ever remember seeing him when he wasn't around.
He showed up to WrestleMania, taking 5 minutes to walk down the aisle.
Dude, yeah.
What is that guy's name? Why do we not
I don't
remember his name?
exactly. But like there
Travis Scott. Travis
Travis,
Scott.
yeah,
There
Travis
we go.
Scott. Yeah, we'll have this conversation. I'll forget his name. But it, I there's so many things that could have went better. And yet again, it didn't surprise me that, you know, that The Rock did what The Rock does best and sets things up and then never comes back to finish them. But Cena, he did what he did the best he could, and then when he kind of felt like this is going nowhere, like I'm everything fell apart, I'm trying to hold it together, and uh and it's not working. He kind of just basically that's the best thing is Cena's real, and he was basically heart to heart with the crowd, and everybody understood. And then he went back, but it gave that cool little bit of this. It gave us the taste that we wanted of heel Cena. He bullied a little kid in in the audience. You know what I mean? Like it gave us what we wanted, but we since he's on his way out, we want to see our favorite John Cena. And our favorite John Cena is the say your prayers, eat your vitamins John Cena. Like that's our hustle, loyalty, respect favorite John Cena.
But we just don't know what happened there. Like, we
Yeah,
don't know if it was a Rock thing, a Triple H thing, a Cena thing, a Nick Khan thing,
yeah,
an Ari Emanuel thing. Like, who knows what really happened?
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, again, I know this about John Cena, but it's like I am interested to see how the Rock's going to come back from that whole deal, because it wasn't a good look for him, especially like if you saw him on Pat McAfee's show
yeah.
talking about the whole thing. Like, it wasn't the best look in the world for him, but I mean, he's going to do things his way, man. And him and Triple H have always had heat. They've always kind
Yeah,
of had that rivalry. And Triple H, speaking of him, he had a great rivalry with Cena too. I know we
absolutely.
kind of
Yeah.
touched on it, but that was a good rivalry.
Hmm.
I think they could have done a lot more, because like those two at the time were like the two biggest names in the
Oh,
company there.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um, they had that one WrestleMania. I think they did like a triple threat another year at WrestleMania. They never really had that big. Besides that, like I said, that WrestleMania, they could have done a lot more. I think
Well, they had
with
a
Triple H and Cena.
WrestleMania. They had a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship in the mid
Yeah.
2000s. It was
Yeah,
just
no,
it
in
was a
Chicago,
one-on-one.
'06. No, I remember. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
they could have done more though. Like,
Oh,
they could have had a big SummerSlam match. They
yeah,
could have
yeah,
had
yeah,
another.
yeah.
Like, they just didn't really ever like. I don't know. I just thought there could have been a lot more with those two.
Yeah, timing wise, I
But
feel like it was just like when they were both at the top, they both had different rivalries going on. And then when it was kind of like, all right, now it's your guys' time to rival, they kind of dabbled a little, and then they, for whatever reason, were like, okay, cool, now we're just gonna separate you guys, and you're gonna be doing Raw stuff, you're gonna be doing SmackDown stuff. It just kind of like separated them, and it just never, they never got to like expand on it. You know what I mean? Like they just,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
too late. It's
I
too
think
late
he
now.
probably. I think he probably did more with Batista. Like, him and Batista had a good Mania match, a good
Yeah, him,
SummerSlam
yeah, him and
match.
Orton did more
And
work
Orton,
than, yeah,
the comeback at the '08 Rumble, the unexpected comeback at the '08 Rumble, and oh gosh, what was I just gonna mention too? Um, Obviously his first pay-per-view match with Jericho. He had another good little run with Jericho here
yeah.
and there.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, there was one more thing I was thinking about there, and too
It's
many
gone. Yeah.
too many bumps, too many choke slams, too
my
many
uh
clotheslines.
my favorite John Cena WrestleMania match, and I'm just slightly biased, is WrestleMania 31 against Rusev for the United States Championship. He gave Rusev his first loss in WWE period, but we were there. So that's why it's my favorite, because I got to witness it live. Like, and I only say
Yeah.
I'm biased because of that simple fact. Like, there's other great ones, but to me, that's my favorite because I gotta see it live.
And
Uh,
speaking of being there live, this is what I was thinking about, was his Raw debut in St. Louis. I was there live for that.
nice.
And his little program with Christian, man, that was like a really underrated thing.
Love me some Christian.
That should have been way more. Dude, that should
Oh,
have been way more, because
yeah.
like Christian was hitting him with the rap. Like, they really seemed
Yeah.
to have good chemistry. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There's so
such a,
much. The Miz, you got to mention the Miz too, and I'm surprised he didn't have one more with the Miz this year. That was pretty surprising to me.
I liked how they kept, I liked how they kept giving Miz shots after shot opportunities to do it, and he kind of fumbled it. Like, I do like that. I kind of wish when Miz was like, I should be his last opponent. And I'm thinking currently on the roster, I agree. Like, who else could go out there as his last great rival that can actually go for half an hour, and put on a good show? I can't see anybody who's currently I mean, AJ, but they just had their thing.
And that's going to be hard to top. I don't think
Yeah.
that, like, that there was no top. Like, that was his last, like, epic match.
Yeah.
Heck of a match with Logan Paul, too. But,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like I said, right now, we keep harping this, but as we record this, LA Knight, Gunther, they're going to wrestle.
Yeah.
To me, it
Absolutely.
seems obvious. They had Gunther beat Goldberg, Gunther, beat Cena. I wish it was Joe Hendry.
Mm.
I was hoping for that. I liked how Joe would always talk about it.
Yeah.
I think I see a lot in Joe Hendry. He's got a lot of personality, good look, good talk, can
Yeah.
work, basic, simple style, doesn't do all the crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't get the Gunther thing. I don't get it. Like, I understand he's intense. He chops people. He's, got a mean looking face.
Yeah.
I don't. I just I find him boring. I find myself always fast forwarding through his stuff.
Oh, wow.
Um, but that's
I
just me, man.
I'll never turn off a Gunther program. I'll never like he's never my bathroom break, you know? When he's talking, sometimes I'll be like, I got a text message. I gotta do something real quick. I'll never turn it off. But especially his matches, he's very throwback, old school, like beat him up, rough style. I like that. It's good because there's not a lot of it that goes on. So it's good. I honestly, uh, I thought Zack Ryder was going to win. I thought he was going to win the whole tournament. When he came out, I was like, oh, when this guy was like, WWE has nothing to offer me. I'm the king of the indies. I'm doing all these different stuff. And then, he did a little bit of NXT stuff. I was like, oh, okay. He's still Matt Cardona. And then all of a sudden, when he showed up, I was like, oh, he's winning because that's a
Right.
thing that like that's Cena wants to pass that torch on. You know what I mean? And that's someone he has a very close relationship in and out of the business with, and is basically helped someone he's helped along, like his entire career. And I thought that was who he was gonna like do it, And then when he lost, I was like, "Uh, wow, that's crazy to me. But with Gunther or
Yeah.
LA Knight, like it'll be a good match either way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was cool to see Ryder, cool to see Ziggler. I was just expecting more. Like, I was expecting some more surprises, something. And again, I hope they did something really awesome for this
Yeah.
last match. Like, I hope
Ye-
that they got a lot of people involved.
Uh,
Maybe some more, like, I wanted more like backstage stuff with Cena, like,
yeah.
running into people. Like, I hope they do that. Like,
Yeah.
they have run. I mean, there's the time is up, but
You know,
it's
just thinking, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't want to lose my train. I don't want to get derailed. But be everything. What if Gunther doesn't make his flight and it's the Miz against LA Knight again, and the Miz actually goes over, and it is the Miz versus Cena, because magically, Miz is basically done it again and again and again at LA Knight. I was just thinking, some he filled in for what's his name getting hurt. And then now if Gunther just doesn't show up, you know what I mean? Like he's just not there. And the Miz, like I could see that happening, and I would be okay with that. I would be okay with the Miz Cena last match. I would be okay with that.
yeah. I think they want to give it to a younger guy that can do something with it for the next decade, and I get and they see that in Gunther. They clearly love Gunther.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but we'll see. Like I said,
Yeah.
and on the next podcast, we'll definitely dive into the to
Yeah.
the last match. Maybe we'll talk about what 2026 looks like. We got the Rumble coming up. I mean, that's what I love about wrestling, man, or wrestling as I call it, is it just never stops, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
always there every week. It's always, it just keeps going. TNA, they just got a new TV deal. AEW's trying to do their thing. And, speaking of AEW, I mean, I'm surprised you're not, just devastated that we never got Cena versus Omega.
Uh, sometimes you have two icons in divisions that never meet each other in their
No.
companies. You know what I mean? We never got to see Cena Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have two icons that just don't, they never have a match together. And that's okay because
Cena,
there's what ifs, you know?
Cena versus MJF would have been a lot of fun,
Yeah,
especially on the mic.
I would have liked to see, I would have liked to see Cena, lots of people. I'd like to see Cena, MJF, Cena, I'd like to see Cena Omega. I'd like to see like Cena Strickland. I'd like to see Cena um uh Josh Alexander because he reminds me of like a grittier Kurt Angle, you know, like there's quite a few guys I'd like to see Cena wrestle, but that's one thing that I am kind of sad about WWE is there's no way if you don't work for that company that you're ever going to see another company wrestle outside of it. If that makes sense. Like you'll never see an AEW guy and a WWE guy wrestle. It just not it's
Yeah.
never in the cards.
Yeah, I mean the stuff they've been doing with TNA has been interesting. I'm sure this is all going to be like
Mm-hmm.
um factored into this event because you know Cena said like this event's going to be about the new generation,
Yeah.
wrestling the more established guys. So you
Yeah.
know the event's good. You know, again, we'll talk more about that on another podcast. But just kind of closing this out about Cena, man. If you had to pick one John C. excuse me, if you had to pick one John Cena match, what are you going with?
I mean honestly, you know, we talked about it earlier, but that John Cena RVD, it was such a good match that showcased that John Cena could also um, do a little bit of um, like the a slight bit of like a lucha style. You know, he kept up with RVD. Like even though you would never seen him kind of do that stuff beforehand, um, it was definitely something that he didn't have much experience with, but still pulled it off. But I mean, it's so hard because like him versus Taker, WrestleMania 34 was really incredible. Um, man, there's just so many
All
Cena.
3 minutes of it.
There's just so there. Yeah, but I mean, it was like I don't know. I liked it.
Spectacle.
It was it was the WrestleMania. It was the WrestleMania thing, you know, like I said, the Firefly Fun House thing. It's hard for me to pick like that moment. You know what? Like that match is hard for me. Like him and Shawn Michaels. Um,
Yeah.
that is, if you want to talk about a match where like the two of the best performers performed at the grandest stage of them all. I mean, that's up there too. If you want to do all of, you know, like it's so I'm so undecisive when it comes to it because they all have different moments for me, you know?
And we haven't even talked about JBL, you know, the fact that that's the guy that
Mm-hmm.
really made him
Mm-hmm.
and put him over for the title. And Umaga too. Like
Yeah.
I just keep thinking like
Umaga.
gosh, there's just so many
It's
just
we can spend
great
hours. Yeah.
stuff, man. There's so much great stuff that you know, what a career, man. And it's crazy because like if you would have asked me like a couple months ago, like what's your favorite Cena match, like, I'd be like, oh man, you know, maybe maybe something with Angle or, probably CM Punk, But dude, that match with AJ Styles, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to do that at 48 years old in your last one of your last matches ever, and to have a match like that,
Yeah.
like I might have to pick that one, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great, man. So yeah, I mean, John Cena, um,
You know,
in the world of the WWE, he might be the best. You know,
yeah.
like he might be. He's from every aspect that you look at it, from longevity to marketability to merchandise to mic work
Yeah.
to good matches to great rivalries to moments. I mean, You know?
uh I know this is very taboo, but a good match that kind of put John Cena, like, because we were talking about in that time era where JBL kind of made Cena and got him, put him over and got him on his way. I feel like another match that was good at that time, that kind of got him into, like, he started getting traction and stuff, was him and Benoit. On They had a match on SmackDown, and it showed the difference between him being like gimmicky and him being like, oh, he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, and
Oh yeah.
I know it's very, people don't like talking about Benoit because of, whatever, but he did a lot of people's, you know, he had matches with people that put them in the right direction and like really put them over. Um,
Eddie Guerrero too. I mean, and Cena said like
yeah,
during that time, like he rode with Benoit and Eddie. Like
yeah,
he learned a lot
absolutely.
from them. You know, the parking lot brawl. He had a best of five series with Booker T. I
Yeah,
mean, dude, it just doesn't stop, man. It just
yeah.
doesn't stop. Um, but I just think that yeah, I just think closing out this podcast. You know, we could go on all day about our favorite stuff that Cena's done. We want to hear
Mhm.
what y'all have to say. What was some of your favorite Cena matches? What was some of your favorite Cena promos? What'd you think of his last match? Let's talk about it next episode,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
let's get into just everything else that's going on in the world of pro wrestling. I mean, you got anything else, DC?
I mean, not really. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, with Cena. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what happens he does in the future. He might even stick around and do some behind the scenes work. He might. I'd like to see him on. I'd listen to him on commentary. I'd also, if he took on a mentorship role, I'd be cool with that too. Like I don't think I think Cena's got time in the tank, not to wrestle. Like he said, he's not, his body's not hanging in there anymore. He wants to go out on top instead of a lot of guys. You watch their last match. I watched Ric Flair's last match, and I thought he was going to die in the ring. He said he blacked out in the ring. He part of the match he didn't remember. Like, it was hard to watch because you just see
Had
him.
a heart attack.
Yeah, you just see him have a, like, you see him like take a chop and he just like does the, like, slowly sit down, like you genuinely think like, oh my god, is he hurt, and
Oh yeah,
he doesn't want to be remembered like, and I don't want to remember him like that. I'm
yeah,
the same thing with,
yeah.
like, when Taker Goldberg. I'm glad he had a match with AJ Styles, so that wasn't the last thing we saw. And I'm glad Cena's like, this is gonna be it because you want to keep him untarnished,
Well, and he said too, like the whole gimmick is done, like the jorts, the shirts, the
Yeah,
hats, the headbands, the so like he said like you're gonna see me in a suit. So yeah, I could see him coming in for like a commentary role, a kickoff show thing, an appearance as making a big announcement or something, and
yeah,
so we'll see what happens next, man.
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's been cool to reflect on all the great work he's done. Big impact on a lot of people, man, a lot of kids. I mean, I've watched him since I was a teenager. Um, we talked about how old we were earlier on the show, so
Hmm.
it's been a heck of a run,
Yeah,
and this has been a great episode, man. It's always good
absolutely.
catching up with you, dude. I look forward to the next episode. I hope everybody out there that's watching and listening's enjoyed this.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
yeah, man. You want to hit them with your plugs, brother? You
Yeah.
got some
Oh,
plugs,
yeah.
brother?
One last thing. Like, uh, let us know your favorite Cena moments. Let us, like, when one of us asks the other a question, feel free to chime in with your answer too. Like, we'd love to hear, what you guys have to, what your guys' opinion too is on favorite Cena matches. Um, all, whatever comes to mind when it comes to wrestling. Maybe future topics, maybe questions you guys want to know. But yeah, plugs. I do this charity, I do this veteran charity kind of streaming. It's twitch.tv/VOP gaming. We do a lot of charity stuff for veterans. We just did our winter fundraiser for last year we made gift bags for um an elderly like retirement home, and then this year we're doing it for like a disabled home. So we do a lot of charity work. So twitch.tv/VOP gaming is is what
That's
I get
what's up,
into, you
man.
know.
You down with VOP? Yeah, you know me.
That's right.
And I'm at Got Mitch Online on everything, man. Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. Got a big event coming up January 31st, Words of Faith. Check that out. But yeah, for Danny, I'm Mitch. We appreciate y'all for listening, and it's all love.